What is up, guys? Today we're going to be comparing the Galaxy A11 to the Galaxy A20. So I was asked to do this comparison because they're both very close in price. So let's go ahead and check out the pros and cons of both of these phones. Alright, so for the body of both phones, as you can see, they're both plastic builds, and they pretty much have the same setup. You have your volume rockers, power button, USB Type-C on both, headphone jack on both, and a single firing speaker on both, which is pretty loud. Now, I will say that the Galaxy A11 is definitely a little bit thicker than the A20, so that is one thing that I noticed. Alright, so when you turn both phones over, you're greeted by a 6.4-inch display on both. Now, the A11 has a TFT display, and the A20 has a Super AMOLED display, which is very impressive for this price point. So I definitely am leaning towards the Super AMOLED display, even though I really love the punch hole design on the A11. The TFT display just looks washed out compared to a Super AMOLED or even an IPS display. So I'm not the biggest fan of the TFT displays here, but like I said, I do like the punch hole. I just think it makes the experience a little bit more immersive here. But most definitely the Super AMOLED is more color accurate, and I think just more pleasing to look at. Now, both these phones have the Exynos processor, and as you can see, the A20 is definitely faster here, which the A11 is running Android 10 and the A20 is running Android 9, but the A20 will actually get Android 10. I just haven't got mine on this version yet, so that is really awesome for both. Now, on the A11 you get 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage with expandable storage as well, and on the A20 you get 3 gigs of RAM with expandable storage as well, and you have that 32 gigs of internal storage. So from just overall scrolling and launching applications, the A20 is definitely smoother, even with Android 9. It's definitely smoother than this Android 10, and it's not the same. The Android 10 on the A11 is definitely stripped back. You don't have the big speed, and you're even missing a couple of features when you go into these settings and stuff like that. So definitely stripped back to make it be able to not lag. So if it had the full version of the One UI 2.0, Steam would be lagging all over the place. But as far as the user experience, the A20 is definitely the smoother device here. Gaming on both of these phones, actually you can play Call of Duty Mobile on medium settings, the same frame rate. So as far as graphics and gaming performance, they're both pretty much the same. So both these phones have the fingerprint scanner on the back, and they're pretty much identical. They both work extremely fast, so no issues there with the physical fingerprint scanner. But the A20 also has NFC as well for mobile payments. So if you're into mobile payments, that is there. On the A11, that is not there. So no mobile payments on the A11. So another huge difference besides the display would really be the camera. So on the A11 you have a triple camera setup, 13 megapixel wide, 5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, shoots in 1080p. The front facing camera is an 8 megapixel, shoots in 1080p. On the A20 we have a dual camera setup, a 13 megapixel wide and a 5 megapixel ultra wide, shoots in 1080p, and the selfie camera is 8 megapixels. The A20 definitely blows the A11 out of the water when it comes to photo quality, dynamic range, sharpness. It just looks better on the A20. Definitely it's really just no competition here. So if you're deciding between these two phones and the camera is important to you, then you're definitely gonna lean towards the A20 here. So both phones have a 4000 milliamp battery with 15-watt fast charging, so you're gonna get excellent battery life out of both of these guys. A day and a half, very good battery life for these guys. You're looking at around at least 9 to 10 hours of screen on time, if not more if you're a light user. So that is something that I really love about both of these phones. So me personally, I would definitely go with the A20 if I was deciding between two of these phones, since they're extremely close in price, and since the A20 is getting Android 10, it's really a no-brainer to go with this one, unless you just really like the punch hole display. But I don't think the extra camera is going to be worth it here. So what do you guys think? Let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.